Well, everybody, welcome back. We are coming to you on a weekend and with an update for everything Billy Dietrich Racing. But we're not at the races, and we're not going to the races, so something different happening around here. We're gonna get to that here real soon. But a little bit of old business first. We were able to get a win the other week at Clinton County. That was super cool. Got a win with the crew there, but we'll come back to that a little bit later. Get back to the video here at hand and tell you why we're really here and why we're not going racing this weekend. I got our partially torn retina in my left eye. I don't know how else to say it. To give a little background on my left eye, let me say it like this. I've always had some issues with my left eye. My right eye is my dominant eye, been my good eye. But 27 years ago when I was a kid, and I was 13, I actually had some trauma to my left eye and had a left eye lens replacement. People are going to be like, well, how'd that happen? Well, I'll just tell you, just kids being kids. If you ever watched the movie The Christmas Story, Ralphie, yeah, you can call me Ralphie. BB gun incident, however you want to call it. Long story short, playing with BB guns, BB ricocheted, come back, got me in the eye, and I had to have my lens replaced in my left eye, artificial lens. Like I said, this was actually in '95, and I remember quite well. We went through the whole rest of the school year. This happened in the wintertime, rest of the school year, because I could still see out of my right eye, and then my left eye was just like blurry. And the school year was over, and then we went to Hershey Medical Center and replaced the lens. I have this little card here. It's kind of faded. I don't know if you can see that there, but that's the one side of the card. And if I flip it around, it says on there the date and the lens implant, and June 13th, 1995. So anyway, I supposed to carry this around with me in my wallet, which I do. And I never really thought it would really matter until now. Here we are, 2022, and it kind of matters. So I'm just going to give everybody kind of the details on how all this unfolded with my left eye and my retina. We were at Clinton County. We raced on a Saturday night, and then we actually had vacation plans for the next day, which was Sunday. And we're actually going to go to the beach with Chris Frank and his wife Ashley, of course me and Heather. And we did. We went to the beach Sunday, everything was fine. And Monday rolls around, everything was fine too. And I think it was either Monday night or Tuesday. I remember telling the gang we were getting ready to go for dinner. I had like this dark spot in my left eye, the bottom corner of my vision. Like, if you're looking straight ahead, like down here, I had like a dark spot, which isn't necessarily unusual for me, because since I had my lens replacement, I would get floaters once in a while, and there's a lot of people that know exactly what that is. But if you don't, once in a while, it'll just be like a line, kind of like a faint black line or a dot would just float through your vision. And I've been to the eye doctor several times over the years just to have it checked up, and there's nothing you can do about it. Everything looked fine. It's just kind of normal after having something happen to your eye. So fast forward, I tell everybody, my eyes got like this dark spot in there. I didn't really think a whole lot of it because, like I said, I had dark spots or floaters through my eyes over the years. And fast forward, vacation's over, we're heading home, and it pretty much maintained the same. It didn't get any worse. It didn't get any better. And I got home on we come in Wednesday evening. So then that Thursday, I called my eye doctor and said, hey, I need to come in and get my eyes checked. I got a spot in here which is not normal. And they said, okay, not a problem, but we can't see you for a whole week. So I didn't really think a whole lot of it. I wasn't in any pain. And fast forward to the weekend. Thursday rolled around, we got the car ready. Friday rolled around. And then Saturday rolls around, we're getting ready to go to Lincoln. And I got worse. And the vision part didn't necessarily get any worse, but Probably mid-morning. I wasn't feeling that good. I had a severe headache just on the left side of my head, right above my eye. And I called Heather. I said, hey, I'm not feeling that well. Got just a lot of pain here and all the way around the back of my head and down my neck. And she's like, well, you have a migraine, which I've never had a migraine in my life. Never experienced anything like that. And my stomach was kind of a little uneasy. And, if I was bending over and doing things, I was checking tires and whatnot. Man, it was just hitting me hard. So I ended up not going to Lincoln Saturday night. So we get through Saturday, decide to take the night off because I'm in really no shape to race with my headache so bad. I was just pounding. Canceled Saturday night. Told the crew what was going on. Put it out there on Facebook. Hey, we're not going to be at Lincoln. They got a migraine. And really at the time, I didn't really know anything else was going on. Sunday rolls around. I get up Sunday morning. My headache's going. I'm feeling better. I still have this dark spot there, but physically I feel fine. And we come over to the shop, and Nate's there. We get loaded up, and Heather comes over, and we talk to the crew, and Corey and Chris and Jan are going to meet us there. And Sunday is Action Track, Kutztown, The Impossible, and it was something I was really looking forward to. Doug Rose puts on that show every year, and we were there with the Speedster prior to that. And so we get loaded up, and the weather's looking kind of iffy. It was raining a little bit at the shop. So we decided, well, we're gonna make the trip anyway. They're still racing, and we get probably over around Harrisburg somewhere, and I start not feeling well again. My eyes not doing good. It's starting to rain, and I'm like, you know what? We just got to turn around. Unfortunately, we just can't go because my eye is not feeling well, and the rain. So we decided to turn around, and come home. So we did. So we get through Sunday and we roll into Monday, and Heather's like, you can't wait. You need to go to the doctors. You need to go to urgent care. My eye doctor couldn't get me in. I looked at the other eye doctor up the road here. Heather goes to, and they didn't open until 9. So I'm going to urgent care. Monday morning, they open at 8 o'clock. I get there. They take a look at me, and they're really not equipped to do anything in depth with your eye. So they tell me to go actually right upstairs from urgent care. There's an eye doctor, and they take a look at me, and that's when they noticed I had an issue with my retina. My retina was partially detached. And at that point in time, they say, well, we got to get you to the specialist. So I'm in Gettysburg for all this. There's actually an eye retina detachment specialist or a retina specialist. They have an office in Gettysburg. So they make me an appointment there for Monday afternoon or after lunch. And I go there. My mom goes with me. Heather was like, I can come home and go with you. I'm like, nah. I'm like, I really don't know what this is going to involve. I'm fine. I don't feel any different. And my mom goes with me. Get there. Specialist looks at me. He says, this is an emergency. We got to do something right now. I'm like, whoa. I'm not, that is not what I expected. I really expected scratch or something along them lines from being at the beach or, something like that. I did not expect this detached retina thing. So he tells me right then, hey, you need to, I'm going to call right away to our Chambersburg office. You need to go there. They're going to look at you right away. So I did. My mom drives me over there. By now I got all kinds of drops in my eyes, and my eyes are dilated, and I'm really not in any good shape to be driving. So luckily my mom was there. She drove me over. Heather met us at the eye doctors there in Chambersburg, and things really progressed pretty quick from there. More pictures, and basically my retina had fell. Let me back up here in case you don't know, which I didn't understand this either until all this happened. Your retina is basically like wallpaper. If you ever had wallpaper in your house, so it's really thin, and it's kind of plastered to your eye. And mine had started to detach and fell down. And if it would have fell the whole way over, and basically covered my eye, or fell, I'm not exactly sure of the proper terms there, but if it would have fell all the way down, then I would have lost vision altogether in that eye. And then you got major problems as far as how trying to reattach the retina, get it back in place. So luckily, luck was on our side. God was on our side looking after us at that moment in time. So we get there. The doctor looks at me and says, we're going to have to put gas in your eye. I don't know how else to explain this, but basically what they did was, they numbed my eye. Not to get into too many details, but they put gas bubbles in your eye. And what that does is, what it did was, push my retina back in place, which we didn't know for sure it was going to work. We went back in the next day, and it did work. The doctor was happy. And, the gas bubbles, went back. The pressure there pushed my retina back in place, which was great. But the only problem we have is with my artificial lens, due to my, prior eye trauma, they can't see around my lens the way they want to. So that gives us a little bit of a problem moving forward. So the next step was, they gave us another eye appointment the following day. They were happy with how things looked. Went in the next day, and they looked at the eye again, and everything was in place. So at that point in time, they were going to do some laser, I don't know if you want to call it laser surgery on my eye, but they lasered part of my retina the best they could, but like I said, they couldn't get behind my artificial lens. At that point in time, the doctors basically said there's in his opinion, a microscopic tear in my retina behind my lens that they couldn't fully see because of the lens, or maybe they could see it, but they couldn't get in there with the laser to fix it. So, it's just one day after another. So now we're up to Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday. And went into the eye doctor again. And, they took more pictures of my eye. Showed me basically what I'm going to call like an x-ray video. And my retina is, back in perfect, where it belongs, perfect shape. Everything's right where it needs to be. So at that point in time, we have to schedule this surgery moving forward to, fix the rest of it. So basically where I'm at right now is with this gas in my eye, I have this bubble in there, and it does kind of float around and obstruct my vision a little bit, especially if I'm looking down to do something like, write on paper, you look down, I can see that gas in there, which is uncomfortable, but at the same time, it's just the way it is. It's not a big deal, all things considered. One thing that you might be wondering, why I'm wearing this bracelet, and when I got the gas implanted in my eye, it's a medical bracelet, so if something was to happen to me in the meantime, they would know right away, hey, there's gas bubble in eye. So it sounds so weird. It feels kind of freaky when when they did it. I don't want to freak anybody out, but it was, modern medicine has came a long way. Technology's came a long way. I can't believe they're able to do this the way they did, and how everything's back in place. I wish this was the end of the road, but it ain't. So we're going for surgery Wednesday, the 31st of August. Bright and early in the morning, we got to be there, and they're going to, operate on my eye, fix this part that's torn, reattach the retina for good, and from there it'll be a recovery. I'm not exactly sure of how long the recovery will take. They're gonna put more gas back in my eye to keep the retina in place, but I don't know all the details just yet. I got our doctor's appointment on Monday, and I'm sure we'll get the details in, but hope and pray everything continues to go well. I really appreciate everybody reaching out to this point. We didn't know over the weekend what was going on. Felt terrible. We had to cancel, coming to the races. I know I watched a little bit of the action track on Flow, and I saw people in the stands with our shirts on, and I feel terrible we weren't able to make it, but this is why we couldn't make it. So fingers crossed everything goes well, and we can get back on the track sometime here. I do want to touch on, go back to our win at Clinton County. I want to touch on a little bit. We're going to have a whole video to come with that. But in the meantime, it was a special win in a lot of ways. A little bit of disappointment in the win. My wife wasn't there. Actually, it was like a huge disappointment. I was sad. Still sad. Heather's a big part of our team, big part of my life, crew's life, and you know, she does everything that you guys see is because of Heather. And actually, Heather had a migraine headache that day. I was just talking about migraines, but she had a terrible migraine. She actually got it the night before we were racing. She got it at the end of the feature at Big Diamond, and it just kicked her ass the whole next 24 hours really, and then some. And unfortunately, she wasn't there to be part of the win, but it was a great win, and I'll tell you why a little bit. A couple of reasons. Number one, it was for Phil Waters. It was his tribute race. He was there. Got to see Phil and his wife Lori, and then of course little Phil there, and you know, that was super cool to see you be a part of that. Not just only to win it, to be there and to be part of his race. A little backstory here real quick. You know, I've known Phil for a long time. He actually drove a car for my dad for several years and won races at Clinton County in it. So some of the wins he got there was in my dad's car, and you know, I got to be part of that. And also, it was the first time in Victory Lane with Nate and Chris. They got to experience that, which is really, really special. And it was a big race too. So just want to touch on that a little bit there. Like I said, another video to come with that, and all kinds of good stuff in there, and more videos, but all kinds of good stuff coming. And we're going to have an update, continually update you guys on the progress with the surgery, with my retina, how things are going. You know, unfortunately, we won't be able to race for a little while. I don't know how long that's going to be, whether it's just going to be a couple weeks, or it may be, unfortunately, it might be the end of the season. We just don't know. One thing I do know for sure is, you know, I'm very thankful for everybody that reached out during this last week here. You know, super heartfelt words from everybody, the prayers, keep them coming. We need them. Means a lot to me. Means a lot to Heather. Means a lot to everybody. We wouldn't be doing this stuff that we do without everybody out there, and all the, like I said, all the kind words and the thoughts and the prayers mean a lot to us, and we do read them. We just don't get to respond to everybody all the time, but they don't go without being seen, and we super appreciate it. So that's the update here for Billy Dietrich Racing right now. Not the update we wanted to give, but at the same time, we're thankful that things are going in the right direction for us. And stay tuned, and we'll be back with more updates and more videos pretty soon. So have a great week, everybody, and see you around.